Hello, I'm Chris and I'm here with my 2012 Kia Sedona. I'm not sure exactly what trim package this is, but it doesn't have the automatic lift gate. I have to manually lift it up, but it does have automatic locks, which is what brings me to this video. It's fairly common on these Sedonas apparently for the locks to go out, and I just replaced one on a slider door, and I found YouTube videos on how to do that, but I did not find a YouTube video on how to replace the lock in the back hatch. So I figured I would go ahead and make one. So that's what this is. So the problem is, if I go and lock or unlock the doors from the switch or from the key fob, which I lost, so I don't have that anymore, the back hatch just simply doesn't lock. It just always opens. And so I know there's something wrong with the lock mechanism. The interesting thing about this model of the Kia is there's no key cylinder. And so that means there's absolutely no way to lock the back hatch right at the moment. Fortunately, I live in a safe neighborhood, so it hasn't been a problem. But we'd like to get that fixed, so that's what we're gonna do today. So the basic process is, I have this part here. I ordered the wrong part first, and then I had to reorder this part, which is the correct part. When I was looking at the parts diagrams, I thought what I needed was a lock latch mechanism, but that's this piece right here. And in reality, I need a piece back up in here, and it's called the bell crank assembly for the tailgate. And you can see the number is 81290-4D700. And the basic process is we're going to be removing this panel, and then you'll be able to see that right away, and then we will uninstall that and replace it with the whole assembly. Just a point of note, it's probably just a little motor in here that's wrong, but I couldn't find just a motor. You pretty much have to buy the assembly, as near as I could tell. If anybody finds different, be sure and post it here. Thanks. Let's get into it. Okay, the first step in getting this panel off is we have to start way up here and take this panel off. And if you just get your fingers behind, kind of pull out, it has these connectors on, and hopefully none will break. And just pull those off. And then next we're going to need to do this side. You'll need a Phillips screwdriver. There's a screw holding both of the tops of these. And put the screws in a safe place. And then this will just pop off. Kind of pull straight out. And this one. Okay, and that reveals two more screws. One right there, one right here, Phillips head screws. Those need to come out. Put those in a safe place. And that releases the top of this. But now we need to pop this off. One of the things I'm using today is a tool. This isn't made for this, but this is a painter's thing for cleaning paint off rolls, but it's just a flat thing for prying. It's probably, you can use a screwdriver, or I think if you were to buy stuff for doing this, they'd be plastic, so be a little bit careful that you don't mar anything. But I need to get up in there, and we're gonna need to remove this handle. So we're gonna pop the tabs. There's a tab on each side there. And then way up inside of there is a 10mm socket. I happen to have one of these. You could probably use a regular socket, but if I put this in my screw gun, it's rather convenient. Two, and then the handle comes right off. Again, put that in a safe place. The next thing we're going to need to do is get these two screws off, and I'm going to hold that up there. These are a little bit tricky. I end up needing to put the little sharp pry thing under the screw part of that while I'm unscrewing it, and usually it kind of works its way out. So let's see if that works. Back to the Phillips. It really isn't like a screw. It doesn't just unscrew. Again, if somebody knows a better way to do this. There we go. And if you can get the screw out, then it just comes out. You can see there's a screw thing. To put it back in, we'll end up taking the screw all the way out and then pushing the plug in, and then you just push the screw in. Do the other one. Okay. I'm also going to, this light switch here is going to be a little bit of a problem if I don't do something with that. So that also has the ability to come out, and it'll just make it easier when it comes time to it. And there's a little pry area behind here to get the lens off, and that reveals a couple Phillips screws. That'll just dangle there, and then when that panel comes off, we can just, the thing can go right through there. We don't have to worry about disconnecting a wire or anything. So what's going to happen now is we're going to pop this off carefully, and it's basically just pop a lot of those plastic connectors, and at a certain point it'll just all come straight down. So I'm going to start up here. Like that. I'll set that aside. Okay, so that's as far as I got last week when I ordered the wrong part, and so now I'm going to be winging it a little bit, but you can see this is the piece that needs to be replaced. It looks like it'll be fairly simple. So you can see that that's going to go right here like this. There's a wire connector here. This metal thing is going to go on the bracket here. This metal thing here goes up and connects up there. And yeah, and that's it. So for starters, I need to take these nuts off, and it kind of looks like we might be back to the 10, we are. Back to the 10 millimeter socket. Back again for something here. I remembered that let's get this wire off of here before I unbolt more of these. Basically, to get this wire off, you need to push up below here on the bottom of it, and then it should just jiggle out. Like that. There we go. That's what that wire looks like. Also, these are kind of torqued quite a bit, so I'm going to just loosen them with a regular socket for instead of that other driver. Okay, for this thing right here, I believe the way these work, this has a plastic, don't know if you'll be able to see this, but there's a plastic adapter on this wire right here, and we just need to push it out to the side, over to the side like that, and then it should just come right out like that and sit over on the side. My guess is we need to do the same with the one on the other end. So there's this one on mine, there's a yellow plastic piece and it's right up in here and it comes straight down. You can pull it down and then the metal part goes over to the side. And I'm thinking that might be all the connectors for that. It might be as simple as that. Oh yeah, look at that. So here's the old one, and it just came out. So here's the new one. We're gonna put the new one back, and hopefully that's gonna fix the problem. Line up the metal brackets. Find the, there it is. Find the metal arm, stick the metal arm in the hole, and then take the plastic, yellow plastic piece and lock it into place. There we go. And then same thing on this side. Wow, that was fast and easy. Reattach the nuts. I have no idea what these are supposed to be torqued to, so I'm just gonna snug it up. And then plop the wire back on. And it should be as simple as that. And then put it all back together. I will go click the lock switch and see if it actually moves anything. It should move this. And it looks like it does. So hopefully that fixes it. I'm gonna set this back and I'm gonna put it all back together. Put these things back in again, so basically have the screw part out and just the whole part. You have to try and get them to be all back together again because they want to flare out. There we go. And just push it in like that. See, when I'm going to use this, you might want to use a socket wrench, but I have pretty good luck just putting it on the lightest so it slips on the clutch. No, I didn't do that right. This piece is kind of sticking out, and I'm pretty sure that's got to go there. There we go, now it's flush. There's a tab on the end of this piece that has to go into a hole. And that looks like it. That should do it. So apparently that's how to replace the bell crank on the rear hatch on a 2012 Kia Sedona. Thanks for watching.